Well, what's going on, everybody? Sorry I started the show a little bit earlier today. I'll be honest, it kind of sucks because I'm like talking about a different show, but I want to watch Timcast tonight at 8 o'clock. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go live earlier. It's going to affect our viewership because most people know that we were going live at 8. Whatever. I've had this up all day, but then Tim Pool tweeted out that he is going to have Kanye West, Milo Yiannopoulos, and Nick Fuentes, the three most hated people today by the leftists outside of Elon. Like if you had Elon Musk on his show today, holy shit, the world would explode. The leftist minds would go boom. It would be funny as hell. Anyway, but yeah, my name is Steve. This show is called The Rational American, where we try to give you a rational approach on just life in general. And I had an idea of what I was going to talk about, but I'll be honest, I forgot it because I was so excited to do it. Like I didn't even set up my other computer here to do anything. So I don't know. I guess I'm just going to kind of be hanging out for a little bit. Tomorrow, I guess I'll just talk about that too. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give away a TV in the next 24 hours. Okay. Here's how you enter. Go to theangryturnup.com. April or one of my mods can put the link in the chat. Theangryturnup.com. and purchase one of our trucker t-shirt bundles. Purchase one of those things. We're donating $10 off of each bundle. They're $70. So we're donating $10 off each bundle to the St. Christopher Fund, which is an organization that provides a lot of support to truck drivers and their families who fall ill on the road. So we are going to be donating $10 for every box. I will give away a 55-inch television tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night, Wednesday night. So you just got to buy a box from today or a bag, and we've only sold 2 of them. So we'll include those 2 as well. But if you go to theangryturnup.com and then click on, well, no, that's the wrong link. That says new collection, page 3. Yeah, that's the wrong thing. Just put the direct link because it won't work otherwise. Theangryturnup.com, and then right up at the top, it says trucker t-shirt bundle. If you put that on there, order one of those bundles. You can also, if say you don't want it, you can donate one. You could buy it. The size doesn't matter. You can buy it, and then we will donate that to a trucker out there as well, and still donate the $10. So because I want to do it, I want to try to support the trucking industry more because that's essentially how I got my start doing live streaming and social media and all that in the first place. So, yeah, we'll do it more. Tomorrow's going to be Trucking Tuesdays. I have family coming into town, so I will not be doing a live show. However, I will do a simulated live show. So it'll either premiere on YouTube and Facebook, and then it will go live everywhere else. So that's that, man. I just put out a video on YouTube. I'll put it out on Facebook before about Elon Musk and something he tweeted a few minutes ago. And it was kind of like that moment where you're like, oh, wait, now everything kind of makes sense, even though most people already knew that. And I got a couple of sarcastic comments on Twitter already about it because people are like, yeah, no shit, dude, where have you been? But I don't know. So you'll have to watch that. That video is on YouTube. YouTube, for some reason, is allowing me to monetize videos. I think if I don't curse as much. So you may see me try not to curse as much because for some reason, YouTube is monetizing my videos. So that's good because it supplements the amount of money that I'm not making doing the show. Do you know what I mean? Because it's been pretty dry lately. Christmas, inflation, Biden. Speaking of Biden, did you hear today in the White House? Karine Jean-Pierre was talking about, what'd she say? The average national gas price across the country today is $3.55, which is $1.40 lower than its highest point in June, which was because of her policies. It's still like 40 or 50 cents more than what it was last year, but those are just facts. And she goes, what did she say? The most commonly seen price is $2.98 or some shit like that, which I hate because that's the most misleading thing ever, right? So that means that several gas stations have $2.98 as their, as their price at the pump. Where would that even be? Maybe Houston, Texas? I don't know. Are there a lot of refineries in Houston? So is fuel just cheaper there? I'm not quite sure, but they just lie. They lie all the time. You know what I mean? And it's not even that surprising. Today we heard a lot, I know what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about China. Okay. Cause I got called shill for the CCP by by, by someone on Twitter because I saw this photo or this video of a BBC reporter being viciously beaten. How many of you guys saw that video? Well, no one did because you didn't see a video of him being viciously beaten. We've seen videos of people being viciously beaten by police, and that wasn't it. This guy was arrested. He was a reporter with BBC. He was arrested. And the Chinese officials reportedly said they did it for his own protection so he didn't catch COVID from the protesters. And he's since been released. But I basically said, the only thing I said is I said, listen, I'm not sick enough for China. We all know they effing suck. But this doesn't really look like a beating. I mean, we've seen beatings. Hell, I worked in a bar. I saw way worse beatings than that. We've seen them just in arrests, way worse beatings. And so that's what I was calling out, because we can be hypocritical of a country, but you can't make shit up or stuff up, because that's how we got into this place in the first place. That's how we got here in the first place, because the left, and the right bend the truth or bend perception or lie. In other words, they just lie to you about what's happening in the country and expect you not to, do any due diligence. So when I see something and I read a caption that doesn't see what I saw there, I'm going to call it out, because that's kind of my job. That's what I do, is I call out hypocrisy. And it doesn't matter if we're all supposed to be mad at China, so we allow a narrative that's critical of China, even though it's false. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. So one person's like, it's a bad look for you to start shilling for the CCP or something. And I'm like, are you stupid? No, everybody knows what's going on. But here's another thing that doesn't make sense. So a big part of the conversation today in the White House press conference revolved around China and China's treatment of the COVID lockdowns. And everybody is very happy, right? Just that people are finally standing up in China against COVID and against lockdowns and against what everybody has been dealing with across the world for so long. The thing that I find incredibly concerning is the fact that you have all these leftists. It's kind of like everyone's working in unison, right? So the leftists or left-leaning news stations are highlighting this. They're talking about the protesters that are being patriotic. I heard the CNN commentator say that today, and I was like, oh my God, don't even say that word. But they were saying they're being patriotic. It's beautiful. They're out there protesting for their freedoms. And I'm like, you could go back like 2 months ago and CNN was criticizing people here in America for protesting for their freedom. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just because, well, we have this uniform hate. Maybe that's how they're trying to bring us all together again. Remember that America's supposed to hate China, and that's why we're all, feuding. And maybe they thought the whole Ukraine-Russia thing was going to unite Americans. It didn't, because half of the people, think like rationally and are like, wait, what? We have all this shit going on here. Why are we over there? Why are we sending money over there when we could solve problems here? But it's crazy how many people are calling it out, how many people are doing it, because I'll be honest with you, outside of the drones flying around, spraying chemicals all over the places, and then, all the Chinese people going into the malls, I think I may have to start wearing a lapel mic, because then I could just walk around, especially when I'm all amped up, right? You know what I'm saying? But what the hell was I talking about? Oh, there's a couple of things I haven't seen before, right? And we've seen them come out of China for some time, but we haven't seen them out of any other part in the country, which is, what is it? It's these weird, like, buggy things. So when they use an app, which is what they tried to do here and they're still trying. They use an app in China, basically, and it tells you if you've come, like when you test positive, it sends you like a red notice, and a whole SWAT team of, clad people come to restrain you and bring you to a quarantine camp. And if you've tested red, so like I think yellow or orange is if you've been in close contact with someone that tested positive. So, and everybody is on apps so they can tell. So basically, if I'm sitting here doing my show and someone I came in contact with, that they can geotag your location and know you came in contact with them, then what they're doing is they're coming into your neighborhood and they're blocking everybody off. And then they're taking these big steel bars and they're putting them across your front doors, because apparently in China, the doors open out instead of in. I don't know. It's weird. And they're taking these steel bars and they're welding them to the front of your building, literally trapping you inside. Yes, what's happening in China is completely wrong. Okay. I'm just to make sense. What's happening in China is completely wrong. Don't get me screwed up in that. But I was calling out the hypocrisy of CNN commenting about freedom and applauding, applauding the Chinese protesters for marching against the CCP, when literally 5 months ago in Australia, protesters that were protesting against lockdowns were being viciously beaten in the streets by police. CNN never covered that. What is the difference? It's the same. They were doing the same thing, but China's taking it to a whole nother level. What is that? A Mad TV skit? I got to figure out what that was. But someone said 19 people were burned alive. That is false. 10 people were burned alive. And here's the thing, is because that building, that's why all the protests started. This is allegedly why the protests started. There was a high-rise fire. And a lot of the people, if not all of the people that were in that building, were being quarantined to that building and told they're not allowed to leave. A fire broke out because of the COVID hysteria, likely because all those firefighters also have cell phones, little things in there. So if they go into a building that's on fire and the people inside have COVID, that they're going to be locked down for months and months and months, because then they're going to be close contact. I wonder if they're exempt. That is a question for any fact finders. Are the police and firefighters and EMS and medical personnel exempted from the lockdown procedures that are currently being taken? Can someone look that up? That would be curious. I'm curious about that. But so apparently because I watched the video, when they were fighting this fire, they refused to go in, or maybe the building was boarded up. I don't know, but they didn't go in, and they were trying to spray up to like the 30th floor from the ground, and the water wasn't even coming close to the fire. So 10 people burned alive inside that building because of, and they're saying that wouldn't have happened if this COVID hysteria in China wasn't taking place, which is 100% factual. It wouldn't have happened because the firefighters wouldn't be afraid of getting locked down because they had close contact with someone that tested positive, because this was a COVID building. No, they would have went in and fought the fire from interior, or got their apparatus closer. So you're not going to be able to spray 20 feet up or 20 stories up, but it's really bad. But that caused a lot of the protesters and a lot of the people, because China's having this, thousands and thousands of people a day are testing positive for the COVID. So they're all going out there and protesting now because they understand that China's just going to start locking everybody down. And China's lockdown's quite a bit different than what we had here in the United States. We had the freedom to go out to the store, walk our dog, do that kind of stuff. And I say that. And then the Biden said, today, who was it? John Kirby. Today during the White House press conference, I think it was John Kirby. He says, it's the official United States position that lockdowns are wrong. We support the protesters. And I'm like, you mother effer. I'm like, are you kidding? The official U.S. position for the United States government is that you do not support lockdowns? You do not support lockdowns? Get the heck out of here. They locked down half of the damn country in the United States right here. But we didn't have the same kind of lockdowns that they had in other countries. I'll be honest with you. We didn't. They weren't, in New York, like the Hasidic Jews got it pretty bad. I'll be honest with you. If you've seen the videos out of them, they did kind of trap them in rooms and stuff until they all agreed. Well, I think that was for measles or mumps or something else. But they trapped them all in a room and made them test one by one by one. And that was in the United States. I know Canada was pretty extreme with their lockdown measures as well. Australia, obviously. China, obviously. But what they do is they literally say, okay, you're done. You're not allowed to come out. They're literally welding people into their homes now, or boarding them up and making it so they can't come out. I saw one person, a taxi driver. I watched a video where a taxi driver found out that they were in close proximity to someone with COVID. They blocked off that taxi driver's vehicle, and they had people sitting there in full, hazmat suits sitting there on the sidewalk watching it. That taxi driver apparently is not allowed to leave his cab, nor is he allowed to drive anywhere. He has to stay in his cab. That is the extreme that China's going on. We can't make a correlation to what's happening in China to anything that's happened here in the United States because we've never experienced anything that extreme. I know a lot of people want to, and they're like, yeah, China's standing up for their, freedom of speech and all that stuff. And we could all applaud that. But I think it's hypocritical for anybody that wants to say, someone's an anti-vaxxer or something like that to go and criticize, to then go and support China and support the protesters in China. You're just being a hypocrite because you're saying here that people that don't believe in lockdowns, that don't believe in mandatory masking and mandatory vaccine and all that same stuff, vaccine passports, everyone that was called a conspiracy theorist here in China, they're doing the same thing and saying no more lockdowns. I mean, how many protests did we watch in the United States where people had signs saying no more lockdowns? Let our kids live. Let us live. Like, how many times did that happen in the United States? And people were yelled at and spit on and screamed at by all these crazy liberal leftist morons here in the United States. And then those crazy leftist morons are the ones that are all over social media cheering on the Chinese protesters. CNN is included in that. And I think it's very important that people draw the same conclusion that I did, is that these people are hypocrites. And I wish that more people would listen to me or listen. And I wish I had a platform on like national television where I could say what I want to say, which I would only be on there probably about as long as Tim Cass is going to be on YouTube tonight before he's banned. But you know what I mean? Because then people would be able to hear what's going on across the country in a real perspective of what's happening across the country, not some, BS like truncated version. So I don't know. Someone said even China put those barriers at businesses too. One guy kicked those blue barriers over with his soup or something like that. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, it definitely is crazy. And I wonder too what the elite in China, right? Are the elite, like the rich, the millionaires and billionaires in China, are they also subjected to the same lockdowns? Or is it just like middle class? Do you know what I mean? I'm curious about that. That's something I'm curious about. How many of you guys have already gone to the angryturnip.com right now and purchased one of those trucker t-shirt bundles? Again, go to the website, trucker t-shirt bundle on the angryturnip.com, buy a trucker t-shirt bundle. They're $70. And we're not ending that sale. We're going to always have it with the same 3 shirts and then a bunch of other prizes inside the bundles with sticker packs and stuff. But we're donating $10 for every bundle to the St. Christopher Fund, which is a nonprofit, 501c3 nonprofit that deals with providing financial support when a truck driver becomes ill or their family members. When they played a big part too when Celadon shut down rapidly and all the drivers that were stranded. They stood up. They do a lot of stuff for holidays for the truck drivers that aren't able to make it home or don't have a home to go to. So I would like to be able to donate a healthy amount. We're going to take all of the Angry Turnip sales from today, tomorrow, into Wednesday. And then we are going to do a drawing for a 55-inch TV. So you may win a 55-inch TV. In the bundles that we go out, there's going to be gift cards in there, similar to the one I have lying around here. There'll be gift cards inside there in some of the bundles and all sorts of stuff. By the way, so whoever got that $250 gift card in the t-shirt bundle that we sent out last week, can you send me a picture of it? Your face doesn't need to be in it, just showing that you got it so I can post it online eventually. But yeah, Tim Pool's show comes on at comes on at 8 o'clock on YouTube. I'm wondering if there's a different platform it comes on as well, because I would like to see that just in case, because I think Tim Pool is going to be yanked off the air again on Tim Pool's show tonight. And I haven't watched Tim Pool in a long time, to be honest. We had some viewers that are like, man, you should just go on his show. I don't know, man. I watched his little thing that he did over Thanksgiving. I guess there's some guy named Adam that used to be on the show, and they have some spat back and forth, and Adam dropped like 6 hours of dirt on Tim Pool. And then Tim Pool made the video and he like cried and he's like, yeah, I'm a crying YouTuber guy. And I'm like, it's all fucking fake. And, I didn't feel it was authentic at all. But I want to watch the video just because I want to see what's going to transpire with Kanye West on the show, with the Milo Yippee, that guy, and then the Nick Fuentes, who's a white supremacist. I want to see what they have to say. Like, make no mistake, Nick Fuentes is not a good person. Okay. His statements, whether you want to pretend like he's being funny, they're not funny. He's literally the type of human being that doesn't, yeah, whatever. I'll stop. Okay. I'm trying to be, this is like the new me. I'm energetic, but I'm trying not to like get too out there because I need the videos to be monetized. And I found out the key for the YouTube live videos is don't try to monetize them before I go live. Just wait until after. Let the YouTube algorithms go through. You know, like the trucker ones that I did over the past 2 days, they monetized them, no issues. And I got a feeling it's because I wasn't cursing. I think I dropped the F-bomb once and the S-bomb 3 times so far. But I'm working on it. Sorry, people are out. You know, it's like, what time is it? 7:46, and our industrial parking lot has a bunch of people in it all the time, and I hate it. What else, man? What else? I don't know. There's so much going on. Steve, did you drink a Mountain Dew? Yes, I did. I chugged it. I already threw it away though, because I'm trying to like keep things neat. So what I'm gonna do tomorrow is I have more of these racks in the back. So I'm gonna take those. I'm gonna move the desk this way and put more racks, like half up, like that. Because I was gonna put a table, but I'm gonna do the racks instead, and I'll probably black that all out. And yeah, just this will be where I do this, because now that side is all a gym. The whole warehouse in the back is the gym. This side is just like the waiting room, and I'm not going to be here that much. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to be in the store because I can't find anyone that wants to work, and we're going to be opening the coffee shop. So guess who's going to be slinging the coffee in the morning? This guy. You know, and I found out a new thing. We did get a new advertiser on the show, but I don't have the scripts or anything yet, so I got to work on those. But yeah, it's things are working, man. Things are working slowly but surely. I need more sales. So like, you know, you guys have always gone to bat for me. So like when I say I need more sales, you know that when I say it, it's because I need it. So like, if you could do it, consider it a Christmas present to me, buying one of the t-shirt bundles. You know, just consider it a Christmas present and and go buy one. Buy one for your friends, your family, whatever. They're sick designs, never been released before, and it's for a good cause as well. You know, so check it out. April said you have never watched Tim Pool. Yeah, right. Maybe you haven't. I don't know. I personally don't like him. I think he's a pompous a-hole. To be honest with you, I don't believe a lot of stuff he said. Like he said, my lawyers told me I can't pay someone a certain amount of money because that's too much money. Okay. That's not true. You've never been told that before in your life. You've never been told that before in your life. But yeah. What else? But yeah, you guys can get your coffee at gratiscafe.com. And our Black Friday sale is still going on, even though I should have changed it to Cyber Monday. I just left it at Black Friday. So you still, here's that, you know, if you go and you want to save money on your t-shirt bundle, even though I'll lose money, but it's fine. I'm telling you about it. If you use code Black Friday, it still works. You can get 15% off your order today. And you're also supporting us, and you're supporting truckers, and you're supporting this show, more importantly, or not more importantly, but importantly, not even equally important, less than important. You know what I'm saying? Someone else said you've never watched Tim, but yeah, you should. Someone said we'll see if K West took his meds or not. I don't know. You guys are just being mean. Don't be mean to. And his name isn't Kanye West anymore. It's Ye. He did make a statement today that see, I can't, because I'm on social media. And who else saw the statement that he made about that his recommendation towards Donald Trump, saying Donald Trump needs to put God in America before. Like, I was like, damn. And I saw so many people that were arguing with that. And I'm like, wait, like you could be a Trump supporter, but still agree with that statement, because that statement is true. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even saying that Trump isn't putting things in that direction, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, how many of you guys saw that statement today where he said Trump needs to put God in America before blank? Don't write the blank, but it's a country that begins with an I, and it's our ally. But I saw that video and I was like, huh, I think everybody should put God in our country, first before anything else. That's the whole concept of America first, you know. But God comes before America. To me, it's to be honest. To me, it's like my kids, my wife, my country, and then God. Because I'm not super duper religious. But then again, you can't really have a country without God because our country is so, so they're kind of interchangeable, or they should be. You know what I mean? Brian Holt said Yee should have renamed himself Yeet. He should. He should have. Patriot Operator said, "What about the Jews? What about them? I don't believe any other country should come before America. Sorry, fault me for all you want. I don't believe any other country, no matter how much of an ally they are, no matter how much they need our support. I don't think any other country should come before America. That's just my belief, And beliefs are like a-holes. Everyone's got one. That's not the saying, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So like I said, today was just going to be super quick. I mean, it's only been 30 minutes plus my long ass intro. But I was going to, go live at 8 and talk about more things, Oh yeah. I'll talk about one other thing because we always talk about the good police do, right? And all the good cops. And I've received a shit ton of criticism over the years for highlighting police and not paying enough attention to the bad cops, right? The ones that are committing the crimes, the ones that are giving a bad reputation for everybody else. So I think it's only imperative for me to talk about something that's in the news right now. It involves a tragic scenario where a Virginia sheriff, and some of the media are reporting that he's ex-law enforcement, which is completely false. He left the Virginia Sheriff's Department last year or early this year, and then he was hired by the Washington Sheriff's Department in Virginia, and he was just literally on patrol like this month, in November. But a lot of news outlets are reporting that he was ex-law enforcement, which is not true. But apparently he catfished. He was some scumbag pedophile and a cop, and he catfished some young girl from California, and he drove all the way and apparently ambushed her family, killing her grandfather, grandmother, and mother, set their house on fire, took her, drove down the road before cops were able to locate him, and then he shot at them, and they shot and killed him. But I think it's important that we talk about those kind of things as well. Those are news that nobody wants to talk about, but it's sad, and the media is reporting that he's ex-law enforcement, but that's not true at all. The one good thing that came out of that whole scenario is that the 15-year-old is okay. I mean, she's not okay. She's probably never going to be okay again after watching her whole family die and being held hostage and all that stuff. But she didn't have any injuries. She wasn't injured when the police, because remember there was the other dad that killed the mom in California. And then the 15-year-old daughter was actually killed as well by, police. And then it turns out later during the ballistics, they were able to tell that she was shooting at police as well because there were multiple guns, all the weird stuff that transpires. But Grant said, when did it happen? On Friday. The one that I'm just talking about, or the one where the police officer traveled from Virginia to California. It was Friday. And you maybe you heard about it, maybe you didn't. I'm not sure. It doesn't qualify for the mass shooting report. By the way, there were 12 mass shootings across the United States last week, not just one. I know mainstream media only focused on the one. Well, they focused on two today. They talked about the shooting in Virginia again, and then they talked about the white supremacist who killed all the people in the shopping center because he pled guilty today. But yeah, there were 12 mass shootings across the United States over the past 7 days. 12. And I was going to run through them all today. And to be honest, I'm in a good mood. If you can't tell, I'm going to be in Tim Pool's chat. You're not going to be able to see my comments because there's probably going to be, I saw someone said there's probably going to be like 200,000 people watching his live stream. I'll be honest. I know he has a crap ton of people watching it, and I don't know. I like for the life of me, like I was watching one video, like you'll see the video that I put out on YouTube before this live stream, and I'll upload it to Facebook in a few minutes. But that video, I'm going to start making more of those, which are really quick, like 5, 7, 10, up to like 15-minute videos. I'm going to try to make 3 or 4 of those a day. Some, with politics, obviously some with the trucking industry, because I'm going to try to talk about that as much as I can. But I was watching one today that had, oh God, it was released like an hour before I watched it, and it had like 40,000 views already. And I'm watching it and I'm like, this dude sucks. Like, even the personality, the presentation of what he was talking about, there was no emotion whatsoever. There was all awkward pauses. And I'm like, how the hell does this dude have millions, over 1 million subscribers? So I decided that I'm going to try to make more of that short form content as well. And I'm not even going to do the stupid thumbnails and all that. And I hope Patriot Operator said he was hired as a sheriff, but is not ex-law enforcement. No, because he was currently employed by the sheriff. So he was law enforcement, not ex-law enforcement. Now, do you understand the difference? Now, do you understand what I was saying? When I say he's not ex-law enforcement because he was presently law enforcement. He was employed when he was shot and killed by the sheriffs. And while he was shot and killed in California by the California Highway Patrol or whoever shot him, he was a licensed, legal, employed sheriff here in Virginia. So anyway, but that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll have a couple of uploaded videos. If you don't subscribe to me on YouTube, because Facebook is a little bit more difficult to upload the videos, not really, I'm just lazy. Please go over, just Google Steve Oatley on YouTube and you'll find my page. Become a subscriber over there, or a member. If you really want to support it, become a member. And you'll get all the notifications. He resigned, Jennifer, he resigned from the Virginia State Troopers in October. He was hired and started his training, and then he just made road duty or something. Yeah, like November 11th here in Virginia, in Washington County. So the Washington County Sheriff just put out all that information today. So there's a CBS News article that you could find if you look up the CBS News article about the sheriff or the police officer who killed the girl's family. The cat, like if you look up Virginia police catfish CBS News, you're going to find the article that I mentioned, and it clarifies everything that I just talked about. But yeah, I will see all of you guys tomorrow several times. And then I can't restream his stuff. I'll get copywritten so fast. Someone said new office. No, it's the same. I'm just not in front of a green screen. And well, unless you haven't watched in the past 3 months, and then yes, it is a new office. Anyway, I'll see you guys.